Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to this episode of In the Frame. And today on Project Outlook, we are going to be looking at architectural design, how we go about designing your home. So we've got the site, we have to make best advantage of that site. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to Jack, who is our architect working on this project, and he's going to describe the process of how he works with the homeowner to create their dream home, making best use of the plot and the site that we have. So with no further ado, let's go and talk to Jack.
It's really about understanding the client, their brief, where they're going to live day to day, their lifestyle, what lifestyle they want to live into the future, and what this site has got and how we can harness those little moments, little areas together. The clients had acquired a site that had an existing house on it, which they saw had the potential for a great opportunity. The site itself was sat up upon a flat plateau overlooking the River Wye and had some great characteristics with tremendous views towards the south and the east, which was great to capture. When we developed and visited the site with the clients, we really wanted to understand what its main characteristics were. So on the first aspects I consider when I go to site are its orientation and where the sun will be setting, where the wind will be prevailing from, and really understanding where those little pockets of moments can happen for the client when you're creating those spaces. So really having those bits of information early on allows you to develop design consistently. So on this site, at the top of the page, we did have north, where we look to progress around. So we've got easy understanding of where the sun array is around the site here. The Y was really the peninsula of this outlook, and that is why we named the project that in the first place. So a lot of views were facing down and towards, and we can see the silhouette here of the existing house. Quite a modest square design in its shape and form, with some windows in aspects, but it didn't really bring in the potential of the whole outlook of the site. We've got quite a thick vegetation of mature trees out towards the south and the west, which is a large consideration of what we really need to manipulate through this site. As we can see through here, we've got the sun will be rising from the east, so what aspects can be enjoyed in those early morning parts of the day, whilst also understanding where the main body of sun will be coming from come midday and where it drifts behind these western trees into the evening. So does it give opportunity behind or to the side, and really where those aspects were. But fundamentally, when we went on site, it was very clear that the wow factor of this site were the views overlooking the Wye. Not early on those concepts, it was easy to see that there were two main aspects that we really want to build around, and they were straight down, in and over the Wye, and also just on this angle here, you can just see the river meandering as it turns around before it comes into the main body of the house. So those are the two main design aspects we were really looking to underpin as we developed any design. So this design really started from where your main entrance is to the home, and that was a different aspect. So whilst I'm designing, we're thinking about those main approaches to the site, so it was quite clear the main approach would have taken use of the existing access up onto the western side and still approaching towards a house on the eastern to the centre of the plot. Having a courtyard at the rear of the house allows the front to really enjoy uninterrupted views across the Wye. So that's really where we want to host those parts. And it starts from the main entrance. We had multiple conversations on what really worked for them and working within bay size shapes from the oak framing perspective of what really works for us as Oakwrights, but also the client. I'll be thinking about the structure of what really does work, but mainly I'm developing a conversation with the client of what really does work for them, where they're having their coffee in the morning, where their kitchen is. Do they want to have more private areas or more open areas? But for this project, it was very much arranged around that view. So upon the main entrance here, we had a couple of conversations on how you enter and really bring in that view. Because as you come around to the back, you start to lose the view. So how do you have that big wow factor when you walk back in? And upon entrance there, we were really focused on having those views through the floor plan and allowing the floor plan to work on either sides. So having this space in here, early on they wanted a dining room to really enjoy this area. So we started designing pockets of spaces, little moments in there as well. But at one stage we did question the privacy of the dining room and the front entrance, and we did experiment with maybe having a false wall in between, so there's a bit of a separation. But as we went through the design, that came out, and we just wanted that wow factor looking through there. We then move on to two separate sides of the house, onto the private and the social side of the house there. Move into the east-hand side of the house where the morning was raising. We were thinking that was more of a private, so when you get over to the western side, the more social spaces really come through, allowing the sun and the sunset to really be captured from mid-morning to afternoon, all the way through the afternoon, and even have opportunities to grab it in the evening as well. So those created the two halves of the house when I was looking through the design part of it. They were still looking to have working occupation within the house, so having a private space from that side really started off that area. And I'd always like to have the study area positioned towards the front door and potential garage that we've got set up over in this orientation. So when you have delivery people, you've got that ease of connection through to seeing when delivery is coming, so you don't want to miss that delivery at the end of the day. But moving on from that as well, having a more of a potential private space where you come across into your lounge space. So this can be a space that you escape from the rest of the house, which is what the client wanted, because a lot of it was going to be very open plan. So how we start positioning that in there, whilst also giving that opportunity for review. And this elevation was one of the first key elevations that we built the whole concept around, on where and how the building would look. So within this area, we were looking to have the lounge space. As you come in through the front door here, we potentially looked at extending this wall along there, so it has a bit of privacy but still a potential walk space through. But when you first walk through the front door, you don't want to see your TV straight away. So I was already starting to think we could position the TV on this wall here so it isn't seen through. We could then have the sofa spaces working in this fashion. And these little conversations that we're having and had with the client throughout the whole process of creating these little moments of privacy to outlook and onset from there. And we've only just got to the lounge and studied the function of the house so far. And really, as I said at the start when considering the site, we've got that one aspect looking down towards the Wye, but it does happen for the second time as we look down towards the meandering of the river there. So this is where we're looking to develop the social side of the house. So we're looking to have the kitchen areas in here, the more family styled living, so sofas and kitchens more together. So you've got open conversations, and naturally as we start developing that as well, I'm thinking of the structure above it and the oak framing that helps zone those spaces whilst keeping it completely open plan. So that really is a contrast into the private side of the house where I'm the living and study area. So as we developed that design, it became quite clear that to capture this non-90 degree angle view, we're going to have to chamfer the design to observe this different angle. So having the kitchen in this area, I was thinking of putting it more towards the north wall there, so it allows quite formal and social areas to be created. and keeping this south elevation quite free, so we can have more pockets of face glazing, joinery, openings to really bring that indoor environment out and outdoor environment in, to really connect it over those views. And as I said, the views are picked down on this elevation here. We then look at the sort of social spaces you want, because we have the island, the social aspects that really brings to the floor plan, really beneficial, whilst also having more of the comfy sort of sofas potentially in this area. But really, what does give this section a focal point? We don't want to be too open, so we need to bring enough of closed aspects to keep it a warm, a home. We don't want it to be cold or aspects like that. So we start bringing our walls in. What do we start bringing focal points into the room? And we're looking at this aspect here for the center, having a fireplace. We did originally start out with a large fireplace, but then we developed it into more of a flue design to keep it quite contemporary and sharp, whilst having that more contemporary, country contemporary aspects throughout the whole home. So having the focal point within the living area really helps create some nice warmth in that area, whilst we add other potential walls. And it's all just bringing those ideas together at that stage. So we've got the main sort of the kitchen area, the family zone, and really those spaces are well connected. All open plan. I'm thinking about the oak frame above, helps zone those aspects, so really allows you to move through those spaces without any walls, but roots each individual zone. That is the beauty of the oak frame of these open layouts. Moving to more the practicality side of it, you've got this lovely open plan kitchen, but you want to really hide away your open top units. You don't want to have your double height units where your oak beams going across and above you. So you want to look at what spaces can I take out of here and add on to a different aspect. So that really comes into what we now call utility, a boot room and utility aspect of the house, which we can sort of see working on this north elevation of the side. Having it on the north, we're not blocking out any views that we're really looking to have on the south there. And also for plant space as well, this really comes quite key, keeping it quite efficient on there. So having the boot / utility on this aspect really allows these walkways, ends up being quite a high traffic area between kitchen and boot room. WC for convenience there as well. And really having this plant room on the north side of the plot, it's a cooler side, it's not going to overheat as much. We can hide that within the building structure as well, so it doesn't become an extra box outside of it or an afterthought. So really bringing it in part of the envelope of the whole house works quite well. But really, we've only got one entrance at the moment. So it develops into the conversations of, okay, that's going to be your main wow entrance, but when you're going from day to day, you'll bring the dog in, you've got to wash him down, shower, you're bringing the shopping in. Do you want to be really walking in through the main entrance? And that's where the second entrance really came into play here. And we were looking at having the second entrance. Reality is this entrance is going to be used much more often by the homeowners from day to day, and having those utilities around them, the boot room, kick off the wellies and boots just on the outside, utility, allowing those noisier activities to happen away from the open plan kitchen, and the WCs as well, within close proximity for when you are entertaining in the family room, the kitchen room. It's not a journey across the whole house, so having those aspects all together. Because we do have quite an interesting shape now, it is actually very crucial where you think about designing the stairwell. You don't want to be creating large corridors by putting the stairwell over all the way on the right or all the way on the left, so having it central as we can. So it was going to be in the hinge of the house, allowing you to be able to travel upstairs and then be at the centre of the plan, allowing you to access bedrooms either side of the aspect and work your way through the house, really minimalising those corridors and inconvenient spaces so you can then enjoy them in your primary bedrooms, your second bedrooms. You can have an extra bathroom and just give more light into those spaces. So then the upstairs, really look at layering these areas above and developing these designs with the client. We'll be doing this either through sketching paper or even within the 3D model as well in later editions. So we've got the downstairs layout, as you can see below there, and we've got this shape here, and for me the primary bedroom only has one potential location, which is positioned here. So having that zone there, taking precedent of that one key elevation that we'll come back to as we develop that. In my head, we're thinking about the different designs, the styles. Is it going to be a main face glazed gable overlooking the outset? For this, 100% it will be. And then you look at your primary bedroom number one, and the clients were looking for a 4-bedroom property with bedrooms up in the garage as well for when they have visitors or extra guests or doing a hosting, because this house is a hosting house. So we've got the primary bedroom on the main gable there, and really having the amenity spaces with it as well. We started building the ensuite in its location, and actually as the design developed, we ended up opening up the dressing room even further to the primary bedroom. So journeys between here could happen quite nicely and free, with as light is allowed deep into the plan. So you're really maximising the natural light that can be used in that primary bedroom. To the back, a bit more of a smaller bedroom. This will be our bedroom number 4 in the end. And as we switch down to all the way on the other wing here, this is where we're looking to host bedroom number 2 with its own with its own ensuite for number 2 there, and then looking to bring in that bedroom number 3 in this location here as well. So our primary has the main floor space, our bedroom number 2 has that other snippet of the meandering river, and then as our staircase comes up through here, we are within close proximity to primary bedroom, bedroom number 2, and bedroom number 3, and these sorts of spaces. Really trying to reduce down those corridor spaces, so then these bedrooms ended up growing a little bit further and stretched out in different aspects as well. But before this 4th bedroom, as we worked through there, it ended up being quite a nice focal point because it is fully vaulted. As we work up and through, we ended up putting this as a small seating area, library, reading area, just above the stairs, little window for it to overlook the north aspects. And we still will get the swinging sun in the evening around here on the west as well. So that was a key aspect of it, of the whole design there. And whilst we're developing these spaces, these designs, I'm constantly thinking about what the elevation will look like in turn. And we'll go back to the main 2 elevations that we're looking at through the whole design process. It's quite clear that the main aspect of this elevation was going to have a great strong point for the whole site and was going to be viewable from the road that passed upon the drive as you sweep up there. So paying great attention to this. We were looking for face glazing units within that, so quite a lot of natural light can come in across those south views in the main part of the day. As the sun moves on around the west, we're not as too conscious of the solar gain it will have, so it'll be a nice cool temperature in the evenings of the primary bedroom. We've still creating these openings on the downstairs. This is obviously where the living space will be, the formal living, with the more private spaces, and then how that really connects onwards into the rest of the home. And obviously we've got the kink within the landscape as well, and really how we design those extra gables to be quite strong and really grow within those areas. And it's a very basic aspect, but it's built upon these 2 main elevations and that pitch of and that pitch of really how we're keying that design all together. And constantly we're thinking about where we can bring in depth to the elevation, how we can create shadow and overhangs. It's really in our eaves and verge detailing where you see the depth of detail, the craftsmanship from there as well. But how do you really ground a project that is relatively quite large in its stature? You're looking to mix the material palette up. So through this design, as it was quite large and based in Herefordshire, we were looking to utilise the Herefordshire stone to really add weight to the bottom of the elevation. And that in side elevation, as you look in further details, it will be stepped out ever so a little bit further than the material that you have above it. In early aspects, we were looking at a render finish to really give a nice crisp feel on top of the stone there. And as we worked through the design, actually, we did quite a few different renders to understand what really those aspects would look like. So it was really nice to develop this design with the client and work through the different options, and it's always a developing process as we go through it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this episode with Tim develop and see it being delivered through site and being able to get to site and really see the design that we've worked on with the client together really come to life.